Hello, I'm Christopher Bayliss from FastGrowth Services. Thank you for downloading this particular workbook, the focus of which is how to present your fast growth plan to your staff. The purpose of this workbook is to assist you how to plan how to present your fast growth plan to your staff. And the goal is that through your clear, brief presentation, you inspire your people to implement your fast growth plan. Before introducing the business leader I'm working with today, and indeed introducing the workbook, this particular workbook follows another fast growth workbook, which is entitled Create Your Fast Growth Business Plan. And I definitely recommend that you download that one as well, because this will help you create that bold plan. And that this particular workshop, the one we're focusing on today, is how to present it. Today I'm joined by Rowan Fair.
Hello.
Hello Rowan. Rowan is the digital marketing executive from Intergage, which is a digital marketing agency.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much, Rowan, for joining us.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. I'd like to start, Rowan, with the problem. What's the problem that many of us face, which is on page 1 of the workbook? And I'm just reading here, at the top there it says that in my experience of working with many business leaders, Rowan, they have more fear of presenting their plans to their staff and their people than they do to their bank and their investors.
Absolutely.
One of the books I recommend to you is Talk Like TED. TED stands for Technology, Education and Development, not TED as in the person. Well worth buying this book. It's a little paperback written by an Italian gentleman called Carmine Gallo. And basically this book says how to do presentations like these TED speakers who are famous throughout the world. Fantastic contents there. And this workbook is partly based on that. But going back to famous business leaders who've presented something in a meaningful way, I don't know if you can see that on the camera there on the right hand side. Rowan, what can you see there? What can you see?
It's Bill Gates.
Yes, it is Bill Gates.
He's presenting at TED, and he has a small table or lectern, and he is, you won't see these in the photo, but he is releasing basically a swarm of mosquitoes.
As you know, since leaving Microsoft, Bill and his wife Melinda have devoted their lives to eradicating malaria, particularly in Africa. And to raise money for his charity, he did a TED presentation of 20 minutes in front of the great and the good and the very wealthy people in America. And I love this quote. He said, "Malaria is spread by mosquitoes. I bought some here," which he's just released. "I'll let them roam around. There is no reason why only poor people should be infected."
Certainly gets the attention.
It certainly does. And back to the 3 rules of TED. Emotional, it touches their heart. Novel, it teaches them something new. Well, it certainly did. And memorable. Well, this has been shown many times on YouTube, as you know.
Quite.
So I definitely recommend that book. Would you like to borrow my copy?
I would, thank you very much.
Okay, do have that. And
thank you.
Next time we meet, perhaps you can return it to me.
Indeed, thank you.
So this is a vital skill for any business leader to acquire. It can be developed, that's for sure.
Yes.
And the purpose of the workbook is to help people do that, particularly in terms of presenting their fast growth plans. And there's 3 hints or tips that I'd like to share
Yes, please.
today. First one, having created your 1-page plan, on page 3, and you've got your copy there, is always think about the audience and think about their needs, their motivations and concern towards your fast growth plan.
Yes.
Okay? And design and create your presentation for that. So number 1 is what's their key needs, pretty obvious, and there's a couple of bullet points there. Number 2, what's their major motivators, what motivates them, both non-financial and financial. And last but not least, what is the possible concern that your people may have about the successful implementation of fast growth plan? For example, the company may be flat out at the moment in terms of growth.
Yes.
And along comes you, the business leader, with yet a new initiative, and they're saying, doesn't Rowan realise that we're already
absolutely
the limit?
Where are the resources to achieve this plan?
Exactly. So that's point number one. Always do that. Okay?
Thank you.
Hint number two, and it's really back to what we just talked about, is choose the right story for your presentation. Stories are important when presenting your plan to build rapport, introduce new ways of thinking, and to empathise with your people. So use the right story for your presentation. One story can make the whole difference.
Absolutely.
Okay? And the third tip, which I'm very proud of, is this visual here. I just put it up to the camera so everybody can see. What we want is your company to achieve, you want your company to achieve fast growth. That's the end result. And we communicate information in words. We're speaking as we now, words are coming across the ether, but there's also words on a bit of paper.
Yes.
So use powerful adjectives. If you think back to your Steve Jobs story or example, he used very powerful adjectives so that your people hear the power.
Yeah.
Secondly, the purpose of words, either on paper or in the ether, is to create pictures in your brain.
Imagery is so much more memorable.
Definitely. So paint vivid pictures using words so that people see the picture.
Yes.
But real change, and that's what we're talking about in fast growth, occurs here, either in the heart or in the gut, in the stomach. Feelings. So use tone and gestures so that they feel your emotion.
Yeah. They know that you're committing to it. You're putting your all into it.
Yeah. And then finally, explain the actions required and trigger the desire to act. Very simple little visual, but that's what it's all about.
Fantastic.
What do you think of that?
Absolutely, and it's succinct and it's memorable.
Thank you. So those are the three hints. Assess the needs and motivations of your people. Secondly, choose the right story, and then use that to really communicate to your audience. Finally, many business leaders listen to this may be thinking, well, I'll create my plan, but I'm not sure I've got the confidence or the courage to actually present it to a group of people, i.e. my staff. What's your comment on that?
I think they're probably being too modest. It seems just so unusual that probably some of the most confident people in society, business leaders, should suddenly suffer this crisis of confidence when presenting to their own team. But these are the people who most want to support them. These are some of the people who have most at stake. They're probably going to be your friendliest, most supportive audience, and they're going to be with you. It really shouldn't be a problem presenting to them. They'll be there to help you.
So just to sum up, have a go. Take courage, have a go. Prepare well and do it.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much for your time. I know you're very busy. Thank you again. Good luck with the book. Do return it when you've finished. Let me know how you get on with your next presentation.
Will do. Thank you very much, Christopher. Thank you.